In week number 9, the only story in town, George Hensley, 278, 279, and not only did he score well, the pins reacted accordingly. The crowd loves him. He unseated the reigning king, Jason Sebastian, and he is going to be a pocket full of trouble for anybody that comes down the pike. We're going to have to see who that's going to be in week 10. Hello, everybody. Welcome to week number 10 of the BPA King of TV Bowling. I'm your host, David Newrath, and we are going to be bringing you the action. You watched it last week. A fantastic match. Hensley, Mr. Hensley, we're going to call him, 278, 279, blistered the lanes. Can he do it again this week? You're going to have to stay tuned because we're going to be back with the action in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
The King of TV Bowling is brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company. Miller Lite. Life is good. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And by Jeff Weiler's Eastgate Auto Mall, State Route 32, 1 mile east of 275.
Hello, hello, hello. Match number 2, week 10. Steve Bruck against Nick Vogelgesang. The matches keep getting better. These two guys have squared off many, many times before. They are friendly, but once the pins start flying around,
things get ugly real quick.
The gloves come off. And that's not the way you want to start the game against Steve Bruck.
Guess we could say Nick Vogelgesang is a homeboy from down here in Lawrenceburg. Of course, we are at Durbin Lane. Nick Vogelgesang averaging up in the 220s.
Forever.
Actually, excuse me, 238.
Yeah,
I was off by 10.
Right, he was in the 220s when he was 12, I think.
41 300 games and 12 800 series for Nick. Wow.
Well, his numbers are so far beyond human. Oh, he's something else. He's just on another planet, another level of playing. Steve Bruck, a little more conventional, but still a very, very good player. Both players going high early, Jen.
I don't see how it could be jitters because both of these gentlemen have been here time and time again. And I don't think the lanes broke down that quickly, so probably just a little soft, both of them on their opening shots.
Well, we'll find out as
Steve Bruck, an excellent spare shooter.
Yes, he is. I have to agree with you. He's made a lot of money in grind-out tournaments, and those are the ones that we have you go to and make spares. You can see the King Division scores. Steve Bruck, 788. Nick right behind him with 768. Scott Gabbard, 725. Ron Holiday, 705. And Rick Pollard.
Ricky Pollard.
692. From Indiana Way. That's more better. That's
Great
more better.
shot. Getting the head pin to do all the action there.
Take a look at the light shaker. The head pin is going to barely get touched as the ball comes in. It's going to go to the left-hand wall right here, comes off the wall 4 into the 10. And you talk about a guy who doesn't waste any time, Jen. Nick Vogelgesang just gets up and rares and throws.
Nick describes his style as grip it and rip it. I love that, and that is so true.
And him and John Daly, right? Grip it and rip it. We have had some of the shortest matches in BPA King of Bowling history when Nick Vogelgesang was on. So stay tuned, folks. When his ball gets back, you got to watch quick or else he's gone. There you see the scoreboard. We are looking at 9 in the first frame for Nick with an open. Steve Bruck, 20, and he's going to try to solve that right. Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Solid 9. What are you going to do? You know?
This ball is so wicked. Watch it cut through the pocket. The 9 pin, all the way in the back row to the right-hand side center. Watch it here. The 5 pin whirls around, misses it. I think that was the 2 getting catapulted, just missing it. And miss it this time.
Nicholas Allen Tarpley, as a matter of fact, is his coach. You bowl league with him, I wonder?
Well, if he's got Alan Tarpley as his coach, that's another thing he'll have to just try to get over, you know. It's I loved Alan. He's been around. As a matter of fact, he showed up here a little earlier today. I don't know where he is now. I guess he took a hiatus. I don't know. Steve Bruck he looks confused, Jen.
Yeah, he really is. Not typical at all of his form, going high twice, age 42, averaging all deuces, 222, 26, 300 games. He's well on his way to 36, let's put it that way. 500, 800 series. Really great scores.
With 5 800 series, my goodness. I mean, that is the incredible feat. Anybody can shoot an 800 series. It's got my respect.
What was your high series, David?
I had 1/800 in my life. It was 803, and then we can take the 790s, and I can't count those.
I understand.
But only one time was I able to get there, and the ball weighed 29 pounds. I guarantee you.
I understand.
I understand you had a 300 this week. Come on, tell me about it.
All these years, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. It finally happened, and all I can tell you is it was very godlike. I felt remarkably calm in the 10th frame. Something came over me, relaxed me, and I said it was time, and it was.
It is time, Luke.
It's time, child.
I am your father. Go shoot a 300.
It was exciting.
Well, it's something that all of us look for in a game. You've got your city titles. You've got all these other state things you've been doing for the first 300.
Yeah, feels great.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Congrats. Back to the 10 pin, however, which has stopped a lot of 300 games.
A scout without a watch, a little late.
Scout, no.
I didn't think there was any scouts without watches. It was part of their being to be on time and everything. Well, very tight match here. Nick has a little bit of an edge.
3 pins is the edge that he has at this point. And that's only because Mr. Bruck opened in the 4th frame. There you see him, age 30, averaging 238. No, that's not a misprint. 41 300s, 12 800 series. Get a life. Nick is just too much of a player. And you're not seeing what he is capable of right
he's
now.
He's talking to himself. That is never a good sign when you're Nick Vogelgesang. Usually exuding tons of confidence.
And a spare. Well, I felt a breeze. They must have opened the Skywing for the Fuji blimp to come in again. I think we're going to be seeing some of the more aerial shots. Oh, wait, it's not the Fuji blimp. It's the Goodyear blimp. Yes. Be circling here over Steve Bruck's head. Steve trails by 2 pins going into his 5th frame. See what he can do about that.
Great pitch, solid in the pocket.
Crusher. Oh man, here it is. The Goodyear blimp came in. We've got them all. This show is so big. You see him stopping well behind the foul line there. A good foot, and that is not typical of Steve Bruck. Normally he's up there within 1 or 2 inches.
The King George Hensley behind us looking on, behind our table, approving of that sky view shot.
Well, yeah, it's not too bad.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
Slight smirk out of Steve.
Oh, he's going to have to go quick to get this one. The head pin is going to flop around. Pin action is going to be a little wicked, but the 2 is going to go down late. Nick is up and ready to bowl. Nick doesn't really give you time for replay.
He is extremely quick.
Just wants to get up and do his thing. Our guy's in the truck. I mean, there's smoke coming off the replay wheel, just trying to get him on the air here when Nick's bowling. There we go. All right. There's the spare. Well, many weeks we have complained a little bit about slow bowling, but our king isn't complaining. He's back there just joking. There's a buddy of mine. I'm not sure I should mention any names. I think he's supposed to be working today.
King George.
Oh, yeah, King George in his port.
That's jesters, maybe.
Watch this. You want to see why Nick's got all the scores? Well, that ball gets down a little short. A lot shorter than I normally used to seeing him throw. 4-9 was the last 2 pins to go down. Mr. Bruck, right-hand lane, working on a double.
Uh-oh, he's going to put the pedal to the metal now. He's ready to go. 3 frames left. On a roll, remarkably, Nick waiting until the 7th frame to get his first strike, but check out this action. Absolutely great. Left-hand side of the rack goes all the way off. Superb.
Superb is correct. 19 pins is in his pocket. He's going to shoot in the 8th. Starts sounding like that golf announcer. I better quit that stuff. Goofy guy, never liked him anyway. Stone 9 to end the string. Nick is wondering, okay, mathematically, I'm still in this game. I don't think Nick ever thinks he's out of the match.
Absolutely not. Not when you have the striking power that he has. Anything can happen. It's just so remarkable. It's taken Nick 6 frames to finally post that first strike. Actually, his first one coming in the 7th, working on one now. We'll see if he can make it a double. And we will confirm that he has these lanes all figured out right here.
This will tell how he's going to finish. It's there. It's
there. There you go. When he finds it, he sticks with it. I can guarantee you that.
There you see Herb Pointy on the left.
Consulting with our ABC representative, Greater Cincinnati Men's Bowling Association, and the ABC working together.
To watch one of the most perfect strikes of the match, and Nick registers it in the 8th frame for his first double of the match. Wow. That's all. I didn't see a turn signal, but it went left.
Sure did.
This ball looked great right here, and then it just makes a left-hand turn, hooks right up into the nose. Fortunate to only leave the 4-pin. Nick, you know, 5-6 years ago, Jen, we can remember when Nick was on the show, and any spare was, you know, your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, if he's good. Yeah. But now he's turned into a very good spare shooter.
Absolutely.
Well, Steve Bruck can run away and hide if he would choose to strike in this, the 9th, 10th, and 11th frame. It'll be all over. He needs this one. Well, don't go away. Don't go away. This match isn't over.
It's going to tighten up things considerably.
Well, that cuts his lead down to 5 pins, Jen, and he's got a spare at best. And this spare is not something I ever enjoyed shooting, but you just kind of look at it. You've got the 3, 6, 7, 10. You just try to shoot it like you would a baby split, a 3-10, and if you do that, there's a real good chance you're going to make it. It's in the area. Oh, no!
Run right around it. How disappointing is that, Dave?
He shoots it as well as you can possibly shoot for it. You look for it. Watch the 3-pin. The only pin I want your eyes on, right there, it's going to go to the left-hand side of your screen. Go, 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 go. It should bounce off and take the 7-pin out. Does not do it. Gets the unbelievably bad break, and he is devastated. Trailing by 6. 1 frame to go. Needs to strike. That's close.
Well, what does Steve Bruck do when he needs to put it right in the pocket? Exactly that. Post his first strike. Of course, 1 isn't good without the match to it, so he's going to need to really work hard on this second ball in the 10th.
198, his potential, should he strike out in the 11th and 12th. Nick Vogelgesang can still get to a 200 game, so no matter what he does, well, what do you think, Jen? Makes it a little more interesting, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and of course, Nick Vogelgesang is the Super Bowl high roller champion of last year. He knows how to put matches away in the 10th frame, tons of experience, and I think that that's what we're dealing with right here.
Well, that's the amazing thing. Right now, this is a critical, critical shot. Count is important, and he gets the count.
Well, where are we at? Looks like Nick is going to need a double.
Nick is going to... Walt, here, Walt just gave me the... The situation is this. A double and 5 to win.
Thanks, Walt.
Thanks, Walt. Well, here.
Here's the first one.
Here, Walt. Fix that up now. Right. All right. Okay, Scott. Now, we've got the updated version,
Okay.
A strike and 5 to win. Hold on, it's my broker. See, folks, you think we know what we're doing? No. This man takes care of us. A strike here, and he can win. He cuts it short.
Oh, unbelievable. Just not Nick's day today.
Cuts it short. Oh, so much. Thanks, Walt. Didn't work.
Well, we're going to be looking at Steve Bruck going against King George Hensley.
Well, that puts away match number 2 for week 10. Nick Vogelgesang tries to pull it out with 193, but Steve Bruck's 198 earns him the right to move into the championship match against King George. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Jeff Weiler, and you can lease this brand new Nissan Sentra from Jeff Weiler Nissan for just $79 a month for 24 months. You heard me correctly. Lease a 97 Sentra with air conditioning, CD player, security system, power package, and more, just $79 a month for 24 months. No gimmicks, no hassles, no balloon payments. It's this simple. Hurry, they won't last long with this special offer. Only at Jeff Weiler Nissan, located at the Jeff Weiler Eastgate Auto Mall, 1 mile east of I-275 on Route 32.
As members of the American Bowling Congress, these men receive valuable benefits. In sanctioned leagues, they know their games count, and standard rules help the fun along. Awards give them proper recognition. They get their shot at national...
Did you? Out of here. They drive me insane every week.
You love it. You know it.
Oh, Jet, you know, we do what we do, and it's an hour, and it's really enjoyable. I don't know if I could maintain that level of intensity for 4 hours when they work in the morning.
No, and they are great.
They're phenomenal.
They're great.
Did you see the opening strike? Now, if that isn't a come-and-get-me challenge.
Of course, last week, George Hensley going 278, 279 in his first 2 matches, dethrones Jason Sebastian as the king. Totally on a roll right now.
And then he comes up to face Steve Bruck. And Steve Bruck is no stranger to big matches and high-scoring matches. He is not afraid to put the heavy gloves on and do a little workout. When we see his bio in a little bit, you'll see that, but he qualified with 788, Jennifer.
Wow, that's a lot of strikes.
And a little later on with the bio, we'll come up with 26 300s. Stephen Bruck is capable of shooting the number. It's there. It's there.
We're looking at 2 West-Siders here. Actually, 2 Delhesians.
Delhesians? Geez. One of those Delhesians can drive this puppy home today.
Wow.
If they can string 12 strikes together for a perfect game, they can drive it home. Jeff Weiler, Eastgate Auto Mall, and the BPA would lovingly give them the keys.
And thanks to Brian and Diane Hayes. Doing a great job bringing that car out this morning. Representing Mr. Weiler very well.
Jen, you know that you've got some very personable people and capable people when you see the whole crew rooting for both of them to continue striking.
Absolutely.
33 years on the air. We've never given away a car. We've only had one 300 in all of those years. Why does it feel so good right now?
It's because Betty Burbrink's in the house, and I'm going to tell you guys about her in just a few minutes here.
Yeah. Maybe Betty's luck will help us give away that $20,000 automobile. George Hensley, left-hand lane, puts away a shot, but who's going to be the last critter to go down? Take a look. It's the 7-pin. Ask George Hensley, how many 300s has the 7-pin cost you? And he'll tell you it's a bunch.
6 frames, 6 strikes. One of the greatest matches right here. Start of the greatest match that we could see. And, of course, as we showed you, the car on the line.
Frame number 4, Stephen Bruck up on the left-hand lane. Durban Bowl, week 10. 2 more weeks to go before we're out of here for 1997. Thank you, viewers. The ratings are good. The sponsors are happy. All we can do is say the BPA and the ABC love to bring you this show, and we're found that you watch it. Look at. Oh, it got there, Jen. It looked light.
And by the way, until we're back next year, don't forget about your sponsors, your Pepsi and your Jeff Wyler and all those Miller products this summer. Hensley crew over to the right, Sarah Hensley, Sandy Hensley, age 28, 9 300 games. Unbelievable his ratio of 300 to 800. 9 300s at 6 800s. He has almost as many. Look at that doll.
She's purty.
She is.
Yep, she's purty. And she's gonna make Dad strike and strike and strike. I hope.
Very disciplined. First 3 in a row. This is number 4 right here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, and she's getting into it, Matt. Watch it here. 9-pin is the one you want to keep your eyes on. Second, back row, second one from the left-hand side. There it is, the 9-pin. There it goes.
Great
the 9-pin.
pin action. Watch this, Grimace. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm calling the 8-pin the 9-pin.
There is Miss Betty Burbrink. What an unbelievable story she is. I have to tell you, she's one of the greatest people I've ever met. She's 91 years old, still bowls twice a week, works as a volunteer every single day. She goes to church. She is just one of the most remarkable people I have ever met, and I can't say enough about her. Betty Burbrink, a Hall of Famer in Cincinnati. 66 straight Greater Cincinnati Women Bowling Association annual tournaments, 66 of them. She's been to the state 54 times and to the national 46 times.
Unbelievable. Well, here we go. Mr. Bruck, right-hand lane. It's up to him. Can he strike again?
Oh, shaker, 4-pin.
Well, that takes the momentum and the car out of his game. Steve, not at all typical of his style of bowling. Spare, spare, spare is what he's usually about. This time pulling right past the 4-pin. Well, it's almost huge mistake against George Hensley. It's almost like he is so disrupted by not striking and feeling that almost the match is over. It was a letdown. It was a huge letdown. Let's see if it's going to cost him. Can he regroup is the question. No, he does not.
Really gets you wondering. George, boy, he's going to extra relax now. Not only is the 300 on the line, that's really no big deal. He's got this match under control at this point with the first 5.
The 2-4-5, you see the AMF indicator telling us how to make the spare. Textbook is between the 2 and the 5. What kind of textbook it is? This game is going to be exciting. you can feel it in the air. The energy is there. No, we don't know what's going to happen, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen with this man.
Two-shoe George.
Two-shoe George. Can he make it 6 in a row?
There. Now halfway to the game of perfection. 300. First 6, only 6 to go.
Well, you know, it is amazing as we watch the replay here in the 6th frame. It's only perfect, but why in the world do I get this feeling like it's a done deal? Why is that? I mean, it's like you're only halfway there, and I feel that this man is going to do it.
He has a definite shot at 300 here.
33 pins in the lead for the match, but the big story, can he make it 7 in a row? Let's watch.
Yeah. Excellent composure. Gene Trenkamp in the middle there, Director of Sales and Marketing for Miller Brewing Products. Brian Hayes from Jeff Weiler sitting on the edge of his seat.
Well, this is what it's all about. BPA King of Bowling, bringing you the best bowling in the area, if not the country, from time to time. Steve Bruck is not going to go away, guys. Don't.
There's Brian Hayes and his lovely wife, Diana.
He's wondering how he's going to get home today. So I drove the car. I don't know what's going to happen. Honey, can you get a hitchhike and get us a ride?
See if we can't hop one of them river boats down in Lawrenceburg and just back up river. To the east side of town.
We'll take care of you, buddy. We'll get you home. Not a problem. Us West Siders, we'll take care of you. There it is. Light shaker, and it does go.
It's official. We can mark it as a strike.
It does go. Little hesitation there. Watch it here. We'll get the full replay on this. This is about the slowest strike we've had in a while. 2-pin, 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 no 2-pin.
Out of here.
Now, the story. The man. George Hensley. 8th frame. Perfect so far.
Oh, he knew it. He shook his head. He says yes. He must have not hit quite on it what he had on the previous 7 shots. Great effort. The crowd is very appreciative.
The pin is the one that always stops you, or most of the time stops you. You're going to have a pocket shot. It's going to be a pretty good shot, but only 9. Wow, gets a good hand from the folks in the crowd, and you know we want to give the car away. It's not like we're relieved when it doesn't happen. We'd love to give it away.
And of course, many of you may be wondering, has that ever happened? No, it has not. Who was the closest? Riga Kalfas, 299.
That's right, Jen. When we had the car, 299. Riga Kalfas he would leave a stone 7 like that. He still owns that 7 pin.
He does. I think he burned it in his fireplace.
Every day.
Are you sure? He said,
"You stupid! Work that 7 pin over."
It was a great effort. It was absolutely a ringing 7 pin. What can you do? He put it there perfectly. One of these days, we need to give away those wheels. Mr. Weiler, thank you for providing us with that opportunity.
Back-to-back spares for George Hensley, and back-to-back strikes for Steve Bruck. What's this all work out to? Well, Sandra Newrath and Walt Tarpley are frantically going to put that picture together for you. Steve Bruck doesn't need to even look at things. He knows his job is to strike and strike again. Well,
little angry on that shot.
Well, a little bit. He's putting a little bit in it. The guy you're looking at here, George Hensley, is looking up at the sheet. So many possible combinations at this point. He knows now that this guy is not going away if Steve Bruck can strike, can triple. Okay, if he triples right here, he's going to force George Hensley to strike and spare.
A triple will post him 257. Miss Betty Burbrink, just enjoying the action. She loves bowling, still bowls 2 times a week, still averaging in the 160s.
Incredible.
How phenomenal is that?
How old is she?
91.
I just want to be...
She's about half your age, Dave.
Thanks a lot. Those are dog ears, though, aren't they? I hope.
Dog ears.
There's it, the big, big shot. Mr. Bruck needs this one. Gotta have it. No.
That'll do it.
Yep, that's...
Let's see. Let's figure out now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Carry the 2.
Get the abacus out. That's just going to about do it. The 4, 7, 10. He's going to take the 2. See what happens as far as the total score goes. But I tell you what, Steve Bruck made a gallant effort at it. And if he were struck on that ball there, things would have been a lot different. As it is right now, George Hensley needs 8 to tie and 9 to win. 8 to tie, 9 to win. This match is over. But the big 5, Jen, what's that do? You got to be careful, but you got to be aggressive.
He threw it firm.
Yep, it's there.
That's it.
That's the way a champion closes out the match. George Hensley puts the bow where it should be, striking on his first ball in the 10th. 237 in the 9th. Strike up. Potential 267 working. And after this match, don't go away, because that lady we've been showing you so often, we're going to show you how good she really, really is.
You won't believe this, Dave.
We captured it on film. We didn't stage this either. This really happened, folks, I swear. We'll finish this up. We're going to watch George Hensley finish up with another Sterling. Keep in mind, last week, his 2 games were 278. He finished with 279, and what's he shooting this game? How about 267? Incredible. We're going to be back in just a few minutes to encapsulate this fantastic week number 10. Stay with us.
The King of TV Bowling is brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company. Miller Lite. Life is good. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And by Jeff Weiler's Eastgate Auto Mall, State Route 32, 1 mile east of 275.
We told you we had somebody very, very special to show you. Mrs. Betty Burbrink. Look at this action at 91 years of age. Sometimes you meet people that are so special, you just have to introduce them to everyone. We asked her to show us her form. She threw 2 strikes in a row. The first one in the pocket, the second one Brooklyn. Delightful lady, currently averaging 157, volunteers all the time, walks every day, and that is longevity. And Betty, we love you for it. You are really somebody special. Now we're going to go to Dave, and he's going to pass out some checks and some plaques.
Well, we're going to pass out some checks and plaques to Brian James, the winner of the 189 and under division. Gary Rolfes, proprietor here at Durban Bowl, is going to do the honors. And I think you've got some money and a plaque, too, for King George. George, you're averaging a mere 270-something. Why?
Just been in the groove lately. I've had a pretty good year, especially this past couple months. I've been bowling real well. I was on the city team that shot 36.91, so.
Well, I mean, you are bowling fantastic. Congratulations.
Thanks.
This is the kind of bowling you can count on week after week here on BPA King of Bowling. See you next week.
First and foremost, this is an all-brick home.
number 9, we watched George Hensley dominate the show by throwing 21 strikes in 24 frames and posting a 278 and a 279 game. Then, in week number 10, he would do it again by registering 10 strikes in 12 frames for a 267. It's an understatement to say that George Hensley is on fire. His last 3 games on TV totaling 824, a record-setting 275 average. Can he possibly keep up this pace in week 11? In the next hour, we'll find out right here on the BPA King of TV Bowling. Welcome, everybody, to week number 11. I'm your host, David Newrath, and Jennifer Kleekamp and I have been bringing you the action for the last 10 weeks. This is going to be big today, Jen.
We're going to check out the no-thumb release from Tom Mays once again, and he's going to be going against Carl Harris. So we're going to have a lot of strikes going on, so don't you go away.
And we'll be back after these words from our sponsors. We want to see you here.
The King of TV Bowling is brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company. Miller Lite. Life is good. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And by Jeff Weiler's Eastgate Auto Mall, State Route 32, 1 mile east of 275.
Match number 2, Lee Nienajadly against Chris Doane. Chris Doane, what a player. What a record he has had, but he's still so young. He did very well in the Hoinky Super, wasn't it?
Very well is an understatement. He lost to the champion, Tish Johnson. Pocketed, I believe, $45,000. And for those of you that don't know about the Super Hoinky, it does run over Thanksgiving weekend right here in Cincinnati at the Western Bowl, and they give away over $1 million in one weekend. It's pretty exciting stuff.
It's my privilege to be part of that particular tournament, and it's my privilege to be part of this TV show 33 years. Cincinnati, be proud, be loud. We have the only show in the country like it. We have the only show in the country, period. So please watch it. And watch Lee go high for a 7-10. It didn't look that high.
He's still standing at the line checking it out. No, it didn't. That was an extremely bad break, leaving a virtually impossible 7-10 split. Once again, Bill Zacharitz in third place there with a 771. He has absolutely been up there each and every week.
Ron Bonner was in a tie yesterday with Chris Doane at 740. Chris won the roll-off with a, I believe it was a 209 game. Very uncharacteristic for Mr. Bonner to lose with that, but he's had some serious shoulder problems in the last couple of months, Jen, and he was telling me yesterday that he's going to have to get some medical activity going on his shoulder. Yeah, and what a shame. What a great game he has, but he'll be back.
Right, he has such a high backswing and kind of opens his shoulder. That's very conducive to that type of problem. Ball just going a little bit long again. Needs to get the more aggressive roll going into the pocket.
Lee Nienajadly, age 39, from Milford, Ohio. Averaging 217. He's got 7 300 games, a couple of 800s to his credit. And he's been on the TV show at least 7 times that we know of.
3 times this year alone.
Yes. Good player. Got a future in the game. But boy, these two players, as we watch the match, ladies and gentlemen, you want to see 2 laid-back people? This is it. You won't see too much emotion out of either one of these gentlemen. They just go up, they do their job. As you were looking at Chris Doane from Florence, Kentucky, age 27. He's averaging 217 with 2 300s, 1 800 to his series, and his 4th TV appearance.
Getting a great head pin reaction there. That ball looked as if it was going to go extremely light, made a last little jump towards the pocket, and cleared the deck.
I honestly think, as we watch this from the floor cam, the game is, he gets the ball down very short. Watch it come into the 1-2 pocket there, and it mixes them up. Great angle.
Love that angle. That is super cool.
That's a snail's eye view of what happens at a bowling establishment.
I can't disagree with that. Goes from a good break to a very bad one.
solid 9 on a seemingly perfect shot in the 1-2 pocket. That's all you can do. Just throw it there and see what happens. Chris Doane, very laid back, very methodical. Great guy. I mean, you know, don't let the fact that he doesn't smile throw you off. He and his family are just some of the friendliest people you'll ever see. But on camera, while he's bowling, this is some pretty serious stuff.
I'll tell you what else is serious stuff. The Hall of Fame inductees in Greater Cincinnati for 1997. Congratulations to Joe Minster, Art Loskamp, Wally Mitchell, Vince Blair, and George Riley. There's a fine elite group of bowlers. Some of them are for more meritorious service.
You watch the very disciplined style of Lee Nienajadly, staying down at the point of delivery, entering the 1-2 pocket right here, and it's 10 in the pit. Every pin doing its job for Lee, and even though he looks a little awkward after the ball is delivered, he is very sound right at the point of delivery. Trails by 11 pins, and that's because of that open in the first frame.
Lee, a very disciplined player.
Well, he started running that one out, Jen. Whoa. I don't know what to think. I'm describing him as a laid-back player, and he starts to run out what could have been a double.
I've seen Lee get excited on more than a few occasions.
Cross lane. Look out.
Wow. Goes
too wide and opens again. He's open twice out of 4 frames against Chris Doane. That typically would spell absolute disaster, but we got a lot of frames left. Yesterday in the roll-off, as we pointed out, he won the roll-off against Ron Bonnert. That's why he is on the show today, and Ron is not.
Once again, Lee gets an open. What does Chris do? Gets up and just pounds the pocket for all it's worth. Watch this excellent roll here. Great release, working towards the pocket. There it is, solid. Snaps that 7 pin out at the last second. Good, clean roll.
If he solves the left-hand lane, Jen, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take it off the sheet. He's got that kind of game. Is the left, it's wider. A mixer. I'm not sure that's solved, but at least it's a strike.
It appears to me as if Chris has moved out a little further to the more outside part of the lane, going over perhaps the 5 board, getting into that dry, and the ball takes over and rolls heavy.
We're going to have the, I think the Fuji or the Goodyear blimp is scheduled to fly in here sometime today for our aerial work. I'd like to thank them each and every week for bringing their crew in. It's a crew of midgets. They work the Cyclones game, too. You know, that same blimp that flies around. Lee going light, leaving the 3, 5, and 9. Difficult spare. Not one of his favorites.
It's especially tricky when you're not properly lined up into the pocket real solid, because that's where you're typically going to move off of your strike target.
Well, you pointed it out, Jen, and it's a fine-tuned type of spare. It's one that he says he's not comfortable with, and when you're not lined up for the pocket, you're just guessing.
Lee has a whole half of a game left, though, so we can see if he can get his act together here and give us a good performance.
Well, we hope so, Jen, but 3 open frames out of 5, and your opponent has a double working with no holes. It's going to be tough.
Little break for him there. He's happy. He'll be happier when he makes it a double.
The light slapper, he's going to take this ball out from about 14 out to about 7. Barely hit the head pin, goes to the right-hand wall and gets the mixer. Well, he's not overly impressed with himself on that shot, but he will take it. Chris Doane, a double working.
But really getting that head pin to splatter the rest of the pins. Well, very amazing reaction.
Even in this young man, we're seeing some experience here. Why adjust something that's working? Head pin, center screen, going to go to the right-hand side, kick off into the 10 and the 6 pin. It takes them both out. Now, a younger person with no experience would say, wait a minute, I'm going to fine-tune this so I can crush the pocket. I think Chris is good enough to leave well enough alone.
Absolutely. He has the pins going from left to right.
54 pins in the lead.
Just a little too quick. Just got up and was not ready.
Lazy. 54 pin lead. Not a good shot. And as he grows older and he's tied up in closer matches day in and day out, he's going to have to make this shot. Until you're 100 pins up and there's 2 frames to go, the match isn't over.
That's right. Had a lot of positive comments this week about our friend Betty Burbrink.
Oh, wow.
And her great action, and just a fantastic lady.
You will be amazed if you didn't see it when it happened. You will see it on replays someplace. This woman is amazing. How old again?
Betty is 91. We'd like to say hello to her this morning, watching at home in Alexandria. I'd also like to thank my husband, Ken, went and picked her up and got her here. Needless to say, she does drive, but not on the highway at 91. So she's just an incredible woman, a real treat.
Exactly right. 41 pins, the difference between these two players right now. Nienajadly looking for some divine intervention. What's he looking for here?
That's it.
Well, I think he wants... Oh, we're going to have a re-rack. Didn't like the way the pins were situated for some reason.
Just in case. He is on a double after all. He'd like all the pins to be in their proper placement to maximize your potential for a strike, as if you did hit the pocket.
Yeah, at the lower levels, folks, just, throw the ball, have some fun, and see what happens. But at the higher levels, you need the pins where they belong so that they fall. It's all math. You math majors that are at home working puzzles all the time, come out and go bowling. You can use your math expertise on the game. A three-bagger, Jen? What do you think?
Well, I think if Lee can strike out in the 9th and 10th, I believe we're looking at 216. It probably will not be enough to win against Chris Doane, but a shot like this can at least try and get him back into the match with some potential to salvage his game.
Chris Doane leads by 31. Can he make it 41? I don't think so.
All of a sudden, he's going high.
Well, slap me in the mouth. I thought he was smart enough to just keep it light.
And he is. Probably just a little timing glitch, getting the ball down a little bit too early.
There you see the 4-10 split. This can be made by sliding the 4-pin into the 10. You got to hit it thin, a little heavier than that.
Well, that's going to tighten up things, but still, he has a commanding lead. But things could go the other way for Nienajadly, seeing that he could strike out in the 9th and 10th.
The momentum has completely flipped over. There you see our scoreboard, which we will be redoing for 1998, folks. We've heard you. It's not quite big enough for everyone to see, and the colors aren't quite right, but we will fix it for next year. Going light.
Unbelievable.
Advantage. Nienajadly from the momentum standpoint. Not from the score, but that's even getting closer as Walt Tarpley and my lovely wife, Sandy Newrath, are calculating the difference between these two players as we speak.
This is going to be such a key shot right here in the 9th frame for Nienajadly. This is everything.
This is it. 9th frame. Nienajadly can take it out and put Chris Doane on the bench. Looks good. Yes.
Oh, what a clutch shot out of Nienajadly. Outstanding. There's his son cheering him on.
This is a crucial shot. This can put the match in the bag. Watch it going right over about the 14 forward, out to 7, back into the 1-2 pocket, takes the 10 out cleanly, and Lee likes it. He knows how crucial that particular shot was. Left-hand lane, Lee leads by 7. He can close the match out if he strikes. Another great-looking shot. Great-looking shot.
Outstanding. Fabulous effort out of Lee Nienajadly. There's Jeremy Nienajadly. Also, Caitlin, his daughter, who's 2 years old, and his wife Annette also with us today.
I think I saw Caitlin doing the moonwalk and applauding before, too, when Daly did that.
Super.
If he strikes on this ball, the match is over. Chris can do absolutely nothing to win the game after he had a 54-pin lead in the 5th frame.
This could be one of the biggest turnarounds we have ever seen right here.
Oh, the put away. Well, now the pressure is going to go right back to young Chris Doane. He will be in the driver's seat at this point. Lee can go out with 205 with a spare here.
That's going to force Chris to double.
He is going to have to get the first 2 in the 10th, regardless of the spare. So your fate is in your hands, Chris.
Doesn't really matter that he missed it. The count is insignificant. First 2 strikes, 10th and 11th frame, are going to be needed by Chris Doane right here. We're going to see what this guy is made out of.
Chris Doane, right-hand lane, need to strike on this ball or the match is over.
Again, going high. Wow,
Well,
what a disappointing day for Chris Doane.
That does it. Chris Doane is going to go down in flames. Nienajadly moves on. 204 will earn him the right to face our king in the next game. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Jeff Weiler, and you can lease this brand new Nissan Sentra from Jeff Weiler Nissan for just $79 a month for 24 months. You heard me correctly. Lease a 97 Sentra with air conditioning, CD player, security system, power package, and more, just $79 a month for 24 months. No gimmicks, no hassles, no balloon payments. It's this simple. Hurry, they won't last long with this special offer. Only at Jeff Weiler Nissan, located at the Jeff Weiler Eastgate Auto Mall, 1 mile east of I-275 on Route 32.
As members of the American Bowling Congress, these men receive valuable benefits. In sanctioned leagues, they know their games count, and standard rules help the fun along. Awards give them proper recognition. They get their shot at national competition, and they're helping our country's Team USA. When these members go bowling, they know being organized is more fun. Get in league with America. Join the ABC.
Chris Doane goes down in flames 201 to Lee Nienajadly's 204 to win game number 2 and go on to the championship match. Well, it's that time of the week again where you and I get to work together. What's Janine today? What's the deal?
I don't know. She's at home. It was a weekend for the old birthday party sleepover for our son, so I'm doing it alone here.
Say no more.
Anyway, we're on the air tomorrow morning, 7 till 9, WGRR, Oldies 103.5. That's the time frame that you listen for the great oldie, which is Lightning Strikes by Lou Christie. Strikes is in the BPA King of TV Bowling.
Yes.
You caller 5 when you hear it at 749-1035. The winning score of the championship game, you win the $200 whip bowling ball. Just that easy.
That's right. And you can win that big prize if you try.
That's right.
Chris, thanks.
Thank you.
Lee Nienajadly and George Hensley will be going at it this time. George has chosen to start the match on the right-hand lane. And he has been absolutely unbelievable. The man with the hot hand in town, George Hensley. Let's see if he starts off. I mean, almost not striking is a surprise for George Hensley. Last week on our show, or 2 weeks ago, 278, 279. Last week, 268 to win. What can he possibly do to top that?
Nienajadly continuing where he left off last game. Totally looks like a new competitor out there.
Jim, we don't keep track of it. Maybe we should. In the 5th frame, Chris Doane was up by 54 pins. When the game was over, Chris was going home.
Unreal.
One of the best comebacks
Huge turnaround.
I've ever seen.
And when you're a veteran player like Nienajadly, you can really focus on the end of the game.
Correct. And that might have been the best thing that could possibly happen to him because he looked a little stale going in. Watch this from our elf cam. Ball going down the lane, coming into the 1-2 pocket, and it is perfect. And the elf cam. Yeah, why not, huh?
That's it.
Sure. A double for Nienajadly. George Hensley trying to get on the board with his double, and he does. Jen, I tell you what, his type of bowling right now is as hot as it can get. 1-2 pockets annihilated. Watch the ball go through. Second pin back in center screen. That's a 5-pin. It goes out so quick, you can barely see it. George Hensley is our returning king, and he is a king with authority.
One of our best players in Cincinnati right now. Winning a bunch of dough here on this show.
Yes, he is, and he's a good player everywhere he goes. Another great shot. You know, if he keeps this up, we're going to be looking at maybe an automobile.
Ah, yes.
Well, let's take a look at this from our sky cam. George Hensley going to the line. Great idea of how the leverage is transferred from line to power. George Hensley, 3 in a row. And Lee with 3 in a row.
Check this out. What exciting start to this match here. Both players with the first 3 in a row. And, of course, John Panker Jr. has brought out to us this morning this Chrysler Sebring convertible from Jeff Weiler, Chrysler Plymouth, out on State Route 32. John Panker bringing that out to us today. We appreciate it. Mr. Weiler, thank you very much.
And he was telling me it's available in black also.
Cool.
Well, I tell you what, we don't put the kiss of death on anybody, but there he is. He's telling us about the car.
That's Rich Eddy. He's an understudy. To the right is John Panker Jr.
And these guys bring out an automobile from the Jeff Weiler dealership group on Route 32, where cars like eggs are cheaper in the country. I never did buy eggs out there, but I have bought a car from them, and they are great people.
Very great selection.
Whoa, and it got back.
Oh, man.
Watch it here. He is going to wing this ball on 4 boards right of where he's typically playing, folks, and watch it. There, it's on the 7th board. 55 foot down the lane, comes back, slaps the headpin to the right side of the screen, comes back, takes the 3 and the 5 out late. He's smiling. Wouldn't you?
Absolutely. But he has a job to do. 4 in a row, only 8 more to go if you look at it that way.
Oh, no.
Boy, that ball jumped immediately. Looked like it was going to set up, but George rolls it so hard, the ball had no choice but the nosedive.
Watch it. Yeah, he hits it a little extra hard.
Just a little.
Yeah, I think he shortened his span on that shot. Leaving the 4-7 crossed lane should not be a problem.
Oh, no. What's going on with this spare shooting today?
I don't know.
But he's having mental lapses.
Well, here is where Nienajadly came in like a shark coming in for the kill last round.
No blood.
His opponent opens up, makes a very untypical type of mistake, and he jumped on it. Is it going to happen here? I bet you a case of Pepsi it does.
All righty.
1 case of Pepsi, please.
5 frames, 5 strikes for Nienajadly. Great sportsmanship out of George Hensley, as always. Fine gentleman.
Perfect through 5. One more to make it halfway.
Lee does have 7 300s to his credit, so he's been there before. A few more frames, and he's going to start thinking about it, I guarantee you.
Well, that's true, Jen, but even with an open frame in the 5th frame, George Hensley is the type of competitor that will not go away.
You bet.
Oh, man, he got through that ball hard.
7 wiggles, wow.
Oh, he really threw a great shot. Solid 7 to show for it. Take a look at it here. Don't take your eyes off the 4-pin. Second one from the left-hand side of your screen. It's going to go right there. That's a 4-pin going to the sidewall.
It, yep.
It touches it briefly and then goes around. Oh, Jen, that was so close.
Wow.
Can somebody make a spare? Yeah. All right.
George Hensley's going to try and recover from that open frame. Right here, a strike could get him back on track.
Can he make a comeback? Trails by 25 pins. 6th frame. Come on, George. What do you think?
Fills it up. Full pocket shot. Of course, when you bowl like George Hensley, one strike doesn't do anything without the double. Watch him reach for a little extra there. Really gets down at the line solid, and the reaction of the ball is conducive to that solid style. Heavy in the pocket, all 10 pins in the pit.
Well, sound like our president. Well,
that was the old president.
Yeah, well, frames.
A couple ago.
I gotta be careful. Yes, indeed. One open frame does not a win make, and George is not going to go away that easily. Striking in the 6th and 7th frame, he cuts the deficit to 15 pins. Lee has the lead, but I think he knows who's right behind him.
Very methodical.
It's in the area again. Yes, it is.
He just has an unbelievably great shot right now. Very comfortable on the lanes.
What a great shot, though. Watch the hacksaw strike. 5 pins, second one back, center of your screen will just go to the right side, right there, just into the 10, no hesitation. When you're doing that, your roll is so crisp and so strong. You don't want to change anything. 15 pins, Jen.
Lee only not striking so far in the 6th frame. That was even controversial.
Whoa,
Right,
he looks
there we
great.
go. He does. Really on a roll right now.
And Jen, here it is, the last regular week of the King of Bowling Championship match, and these two players are congratulating each other on great shots.
That's what it's all about.
Doesn't get any better than this. Go out to your local BPA Fun Center and participate in the fun game that you're watching right now. George Hensley trails by 25, his 8th frame. Can he cut it back?
This is one heck of a match right here, folks. George Hensley not letting down at all right here, giving it all it's worth for a 3-bagger. Perfect execution, perfect into the pocket.
What's to be said about perfection? Well, it needs to be repeated again and again. And when you go out to your fun center, BPA House, they'll help you work on repetition.
You know what? They have tons of great summertime leagues available where your kids can get a bike or you can get a vacation. Anything you want. Participate in the league this summer. Get a new ball. Whatever. Check out your local BPA center, and they can tell you what you need. And check this out from up in the sky.
Yeah. It's our sky cam now. George Hensley staying down at the line, going into the 1-2 pocket. Crucial 9th frame. What's he do? He just destroys the pocket. 10 in a pit. And 9th frame, it's back at you, Lee. 15 pins, back and forth. This game's going to go to the first person who doesn't make a mistake. Or get a bad break.
Or get a bad break.
Wow.
2 perfect shots were the only ones in which he doesn't strike, and both were a wrap 7-pin.
Lee Nienajadly with 208 in the 8th frame. Should he strike, this is now a 4-pin match, Jen.
Great bowling today on BPA King of Bowling.
How heavy do you think this ball is for this 7-pin? For most people, heavy. For Lee?
For Lee, piece of cake.
Not a problem.
Lee's wife, Annette, looking on, rooting for him to bring home those big bucks.
4 pins separating the 2 players. Lee, Nienajadly, leads by 4 at this point, but the momentum, the crusher is with George right now. Lee needs to strike on the first 2 balls in the 10th frame, and he still cannot lock out George Hensley.
What a match.
Ooh.
Going high, that's going to allow George to be a little bit freer in his swing coming up here in the 10th frame.
But you know what, Jen? I'm not so sure that free swinging is what George needs. I've seen him make clutch shots time and time again, but I think he's still going to bear down and throw a great shot.
He's going to need to be firm. We know that for sure.
Good-looking spare out of Lee, cross lane, and the crowd appreciates him, but he wouldn't be biased by any chance.
Jeremy says, Mom, what's going on? Is he winning?
I don't know, but it was good he made a spare.
That's right.
226 in the 9th frame with a strike up, 246. George Hensley needs to strike on his first ball in the 10th to win. Count immaterial at this point, 244. Whoa, I'm sorry, it is an immaterial. George Hensley needs to strike on this ball.
This is it. The first one in the 10th for sure. He's going to need this one. Let's see if he free swings it or if he really bears down and gives it some extra juice and gets it down the lane.
This tells the tale of our last week. If he strikes, George Hensley stays our king. What do you think? It's out of here. George Hensley once again comes through with the kind of talent that we know he's capable of. Stay with us. We'll have the final score when we come back after these words.
Call the original overhead door. When problems begin, we'll get you out of the fix you're in. When your garage door is broke and you need it repaired, pick up the phone and we'll be there. In the middle of the day, in the middle of the night, you want it, you'll get it. We'll get the job done right. The original overhead door. When problems begin, we'll get you out of the fix you're in.
Pepsi theft. It can happen anywhere, anytime. Fight back. Introducing the Pepsi Club. Now Pepsi moments don't have to become anxious moments. What you were about to see did not actually happen, but it could happen.
They took everything! Look, Ma, the Pepsi Club works.
But today, thank you, Pepsi Club.
Pepsi, Generation Next.
Available in 6-pack.
Amigo, adios, my friend. The road we have traveled has come to an end. Adios, amigo, adios, my friend.
The King of TV Bowling is brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company. Miller Lite. Life is good. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And by Jeff Weiler's Eastgate Auto Mall, State Route 32, 1 mile east of 275.
George Hensley is once again our king. 264. We'll see you next week for the finals. Saturday, there were 18 bowlers competing for 2 spots on this week's final show for 1997. In the 189 division, Tom Mays shot a 243 in his last game to make today's show. He will bowl against the only player to average over 200 for his 6-game block, Doane. Week number 12, this is the finals, and we've been waiting all year for this one. I'm your host, David Newrath, my co-host, Jennifer Kleekamp. 12 weeks, this is the culmination of it. The creme de la creme, Jen.
Boy, and you're not kidding. When you say the best of the best, here we go. George Hensley in the first match is going to be going against Ron Holiday, and the winner of that one is going to go against a guy who averaged 250 for 10 games, Vogelgesang.
And the other players will be back after these words. Stay with us. This is going to be a show you do not want to miss.
The King of TV Bowling is brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company. Miller Lite. Life is good. And by Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And by Jeff Weiler's Eastgate Auto Mall, State Route 32, 1 mile east of 275.
Here we go. This is what we're talking about, George Hensley and Ron Holiday. George has given us such great performances over the last 4 or 5 weeks. We're so indebted to him for his great bowling talent, and he's ready to show us more right here. Opening shot, lane 14 at Northwest Lanes. The whole shebang on the line with this opening match. George going high a couple times in practice. I don't know if he needs a ball change or if he needs to get the ball a little further down the lane, but he did go high twice in practice. Opening shot, 6'10", going high.
George Hensley has been phenomenal. The last 4 games, he has averaged 272, Jennifer.
Unbelievable. That is a ton of strikes. 42 to be exact, out of 48 pitches. That's got to be a record of some sort.
That's unfathomable. We'll take a look at it, and depending upon what he shoots here, we'll see how it goes. Now look at this. What an interesting...
What the heck is going on here? And for those of you that don't know about what we're talking about, it appears as if Ron Holiday is using a hard plastic ball.
Well, he elected yesterday. I was over here for the qualifiers yesterday, Jen, and he found out that the silver ball, which is a hard plastic ball, which is going to skid a lot more, is going to provide with a more consistent ball reaction. Now, it's not going to hit as well, it's not going to carry as well, but he feels that he's going to get in less trouble.
And he's hitting it so hard that his plastic ball is actually hooking, so that's a real testament to his strength. The winner of this match, of course, is going to go against Vogelgesang, averaging 256 games. Fabulous performance here at Northwest yesterday.
Well, I'm not, you know, it's only the second frame, and I'm not going to go out and pick a winner here, but I do not agree with Ron Holiday's particular choice. The lanes aren't that competitive or that difficult right now, in my opinion, to warrant going to a ball that's going to give up 15 to 20 pins per game.
I guess
carry.
It would be interesting to know what other bags or other balls he has in his arsenal to compare against, you know, because maybe he has something that would go a little bit more straight and not so overreactive.
Well, that's true, Jen, but I think he's bringing in today what happened yesterday. And this game of bowling is so fantastic for a couple of reasons. One is it changes within the course of an hour, and it changes from day to day. George Hensley is not going to worry about the ball. No, he's going high, too.
These guys are going to need to make some adjustments here. Not at all our typical top average division start at all, especially from George Hensley.
Age 28, 300. Yeah, he's had 9 of them. 6 800 series, his 9th appearance on television. machines are opening up quite a bit. Both players are having a little trouble adjusting. We're going to see which one can adjust the quickest.
Well, it's a bit ironic that George made his spare using his hooking ball, and that was the identical spare that Ron Holiday just chopped using his straight ball. So a little bit of a ironic situation there.